A lot of it had to do with isolation. Growing up over there and being the only African American kid, not being able to speak the language, I gravitated towards the game. And in that game, you find a lot of, you find solace in the game. And then when you play with kids that might not accept you because you're an outsider, but yet when we come to play the game, that's my chance to get vengeance on them for not accepting me in the.
So I brought up this clip because is the low key of being successful is to put yourself in a bubble. Because I think I'm doing a great job then. But no, let's not say that. But no, let's. But anyways, so we look at some of the greats and they've normally like surround themselves with just a certain amount of people. You don't really see them too much like the types that we will talk about. We just went over the flight assessment, so we'll get into it. But I'm realizing that you kind of, when you isolate yourself, you create your own kind of world. You create what it's supposed to be. You're looking to the world and seeing what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and you kind of create your own stuff with no distractions, with no real critiques or anything just of yet. And then when you go back out to the real world, you're like, I have something to prove.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that bad or good? Because with society, you hear isolate, antisocial, it's almost looked as bad if you kind of isolate yourself from, the world, from what you've been doing, things that and third. But if you pay attention to what Kobe did, like when everybody was eating, he was at the court, when everybody was partying, he was working or he was studying, everything that everybody else was doing, he was doing the opposite and he was doing it alone, right? He always woke up super early, was the first at the gym, you know, um, and even in the rest times, he was learning something.
Yeah.
And not really paying attention except for when it was time to receive feedback from his mentors, right? So I'm like, you know what? Like, is that a key to success? Is you have to put yourself in somewhat of isolation to have no distractions, to formulate your own blueprint of success. Because, and everybody knows I love Kanye, but that is the key person who puts himself in a bubble. And when he comes out, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right? But he is the biggest one to put himself in a bubble. Pharrell, another person who puts himself in a bubble. We don't really hear from him. But when he comes out, it's amazing. Dr. Dre, he puts himself in a bubble. When he comes out, he has something to prove. It's like, yeah, I've been gone, but I'm here. Don't get it twisted. I am here always, just in the back. I want your take on it because I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay in my bubble then. No one can talk to me. I don't think listeners and viewers, I always get crap for being in this new COVID bubble, right? Nikki, you don't go out no more. Nikki, you don't do this. Like, why don't you go out? Why are you still doing Instacart? Because I live in my bubble. But I've been so productive in this bubble that I'm almost scared when the world opens up again. I don't know. I transitioned so well to virtual life that I don't know if I can transition out. I don't know how this is going to be. I'm scared. I am scared.
That's crazy. You might be one of the few people. Yeah. You might be one of the few people who are like, hey, not the virus, but can COVID life stay a little longer?
Like, do we
not the
have?
virus. We don't want people getting
No,
sick.
no, no,
but
no,
yeah.
not the virus.
Yeah.
But do we have to go? Like, do
Right.
we have? I know, like,
Crazy.
it's been like mad months since the last person who had COVID, but I still feel like we should
Might be a
like chill out.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm just saying, I don't think I'm gonna do very well. I don't think I'm gonna do well. But anyways, go ahead, Moose.
Man. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great question. And I think one of the things that I've been pushing this year, and we've talked about it quite a bit, is just this idea of independent thinking. As much as possible, I really want to encourage people to, as they consume and listen to new information for study purposes or even entertainment, just really take in the information, but then take a moment and think about, man, does this really fit for me? Like, I know this person did it and they're successful, but am I in a position to do exactly what they did? And the reason why I say that, Nikki, is because when I listen to that clip about Kobe, in a lot of ways, it reminds me of my own story. Like, I am somebody who migrated from a different country, who didn't speak the language, who had nothing but a sport to kind of utilize that as an equal playing field, if you will. Like, it wasn't necessarily basketball for me, it was more baseball, but that was the only place that language, religion, color of skin, or, how you spoke, it didn't like, or how you dressed, that stuff didn't matter. It's like, if you're willing to work and you could play, you're going to get an opportunity, right? So I can connect with that, but it could be also that was his escape. That was his escape from the life that made him the oddball out. So it's like, while I'm going to use that as fuel to dominate you, and you could hear his passion, because he's like, yo, this is my vengeance. Like, this is when I'm going to get back at you for isolating me during this other time. You could also see that could possibly be his escape. And that might be one of the things, like that unique circumstance could be one of the things that made him so great at basketball,
Right.
because it pushed him deeper into the game. And then ironically, he loved it. So it even helped that he had the work ethic, the passion, and the gift all aligned in one place. So it like increased his chance for success. So yeah, I mean, I definitely don't, I wouldn't say that you're not making a point, or that's not how people see it. There are definitely some people who utilize their bubble and their space and like, yo, I'll come out when I come out. I see you when I see you. You got to respect the boundaries, and it is what it is. But I also think that there's others who utilize their gifts and their passion as an escape from the world that they live in, because it makes them feel something totally different, or it helps them to forget about what they're going through.
No, I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
I think also it depends on the type of person that you are, right?
sure.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
that's why I'm confused. I'm like, yo, I love my little bubble. How am I a huge extrovert? Because every test I keep taking is like, yo,
Yeah.
you are an extrovert. Chill out. Like, stop thinking. I don't know why you keep thinking this, but you are beyond extrovert. Chill out, right? But I'm like, but do you understand the life that I'm living right now? Do you understand, like, it's like me and my dog? Like, that's what it is, and I have no desire for it to be anything else. Now, virtually, I say hi to everybody. But, like, do you? Anyways, I don't.
For real.
I'm just saying, people don't judge me. We're going to go outside in
zone.
2021, because I did say, if I die, I die this year.
If I die, I die.
If I die, I die. COVID,
Oh, man.
here I come.
Over here I come.